Battery uncertainty stops nearly half of trade buyers bidding on EVs. Well, to be honest, that should read 50% of the motor trade are stupid. Download the app, generate the Volt Test EV battery health report in 2 minutes. Why wouldn't you have a battery report unless you're trying to hide something? And it's not the ones that have been stopped bidding. It's the ones who are actually bidding on EVs. I mean, fair enough if you make so much money selling EVs that the odd hiccup, you know, the odd battery that's no good, pales into insignificance in your profits. You just either throw the car away or get it repaired. Then fair enough. But that's not the case, is it? I've shown you time and time again the depreciation on EVs. You cannot keep up. If you have two price drops, which is only 30, 31 days apart, perhaps 29 in February, you're out of bed with your car. You're losing money. The only way you can make money is to either nick a swapper. By nick, I mean get it cheap, you know. Whoa, I've just got the old Mike Brewer. I've just ripped somebody off and then I've come on camera to rub me hands because I'm such a great chappy. I know my job so well that I can go and steal cars off people. No time for that. A deal. Definition of a deal. A mutually beneficial agreement between two or more parties. Mutually beneficial. I make a bit of profit, you get what you want. Not, I make a load of profit and I tread you into the ground. So, battery uncertainty stops nearly half of trade buyers bidding on EVs. Nearly half, 45%. Well, again, it's nearly 40%, isn't it? It's as near to 40% as it's near to 50%. So why not say 45%? In the battery uncertainty stops 45% of trade buyers bidding on EVs. So 45% of trade buyers are not bidding on electric vehicles, EVs on dealer auction because of unknown battery health. Now they're not bidding on them because they can see by Auto Trader price tracker that they won't make any money. That's why they're not bidding on them. Don't make excuses about it, and don't think that when they do get the battery health certificates that it will change, because it won't. If anything, it'll go backwards because it'll show the actual shit show that electric vehicle battery health is. That's what it'll do. Nobody in the right mind would buy an EV without a battery health certificate. Is it right? Are the battery health certificates right? I mentioned in another video, I've been speaking to Volt Test, and I had a very good conversation with them the other day, and hopefully they will send me a machine to test and show you the positive aspects of their machine. They seem confident enough to send me this machine, and talking to them, we had a video conference, and talking to them, they think exactly what I think, and they're improving it all the time. I want to see it with my own eyes. I never take anybody's word for it. So I want to see it with my own eyes, and hopefully they will send me one, and they're going to give me a subscription to test a few and see what it's like, so I can report to you honestly, unbiasedly, exactly how it works. It does, from what I've read, if it's true, it will answer most people's questions, most dealers' questions. But the thing is, if I was selling EVs, I would have one of these machines and I would be stating the battery health of every vehicle on there, because that should be on the tip of everybody's tongue. Why aren't they doing it? Let's just go a bit further. Battery health certificates demonstrated clear value for online buyers. Just over half, 51% of those surveyed, selected a battery health certificate as a top item that would give them more confidence when bidding on an electric car. Now, this Volt test machine, it seems to be about 400 quid, and then a £300 a month subscription for the software. So the initial cost of the equipment over the year, nothing really. The £300 a month. If you did 10 vehicles a month, it's going to cost you 30 quid, isn't it? On average, as a garage, it's going to cost you 30 quid. If that helps you sell one car a month more than you would without battery health certificates, it's paid for itself in 1 month. Easy paid for itself in 1 month, hasn't it? Over the year, you're golden. It's not a financial reason for these garages not to be putting battery health certificates on it. So what is it? What's the reason? Why would you not do it? The machine's only 400 quid, 300 quid a month. Why would you not do it? Just over half, 51% of those surveyed, selected a battery health certificate as a top item that would give them more confidence when bidding on an electric car. So when they're bidding, what do they do when they take one in part exchange? They want one off BCA. What do they do when they take one in part exchange? Perhaps, how about this? Perhaps when you buy an electric vehicle from the auction, because if you're selling EVs, you should give a battery health certificate. So you'd have to have your own machine. So how about this? You buy a vehicle from an auction, and then you've got a week to get the battery health tested yourself. If it's not good, you send it back to the auction. If they don't do the battery health certificates, I mean, I wouldn't trust them anyway. I'd still be doing my own as soon as it came. This ranked above offerings including service history. Okay, it can't rank above service history. It has to be equal. Why does it have to be equal? Because if your vehicle, electric vehicles don't need servicing. You've all heard that, haven't you? Yeah, it don't cost me anything. I don't spend anything on service. It don't cost me anything. Right, so your battery goes. You take your car to a main dealer to have the battery fixed. It's gone. First question he asks you, service history. Has it been serviced at 12 months? Has it been serviced at 2 years? Don't matter how many miles, you can do 10 miles, but it's something like 15,000 miles a year or 12 months, whichever comes first. So if you've done 15,000 in 6 months, it needs a service. That's come first. If you've done 10 miles in 12 months, you need a service. What about all these pre-delivery cars? Do you think they've been serviced? Or do you think they've not been charged properly? The battery's probably just been degrading over the last 12 months. It's not been conditioned. It's not been kept on top of. So you buy it, 18 months, 10 mile. Oh God, I've got 50% off. And a battery, of course, costs between 40 to 60% of the price of the vehicle. Because although they discount new vehicles, they don't discount new parts. So really speaking, now get your head around this. You are getting a car for basically the price of the battery with the discounting on new vehicles. Your new car goes wrong. It needs a new battery. Guess what? Your car's useless, isn't it? Service history has got to be as important as a battery state of health certificate. So that's stupid. Who did this survey? Oh, it's a dealer auction. Dealer auction talks shit anyway. Dealer auction. The stories that have been putting out lately, you can make so much on a £3,000 car. You make more profit on an EV. You make SUVs are selling better and making more profit. But then the examples they put on their social media, you can't make any profit from them. So if these things were true, why don't they give them as examples? Because they can't, can they? Obviously. Either they can't give the examples. If they can't give the examples, it's not true. Is it? It can't be, can it? If you had such a Tesla's making so much. If you had proof of that, it would be on your social media. But it's not. Ask yourself why. Because it's a load of rubbish. In fact, 45% of buyers will be more likely to bid on an EV with a battery health certificate than on identical models without one. Absolutely. It should be more. Again, all that shows is that 55% of dealers are stupid. These certificates go beyond simply instilling confidence among prospective buyers. They also play a vital role in retailing EVs to customers. Well, do they? Because what if you don't sell your EV in a month? What if you have it ages? It means nothing, does it? The vast majority, 90% of respondents, stated that a battery health certificate would be useful for marketing an EV to retail customers. If it was, they'd have their own machine. It's a no-brainer. So again, are EV sellers stupid with only one respondent saying it wouldn't make a difference? Well, I can describe that respondent to you. He works for somebody else. It's not his money. Probably not got a big family. So if the shit hits the fan, he can say, oh, well, I'm out of here. And go and find another job in his pointy shoes, white socks, and his shiny suit, and his faded hair, and he's talking to you. I don't know why they all do. It seems to be a type, and they're all doing that. Very bad dandruff, but it's like round here, where there's no hair. Oh, not everybody. Furthermore, 63% believe a battery health certificate would improve the retail value of an EV, and 33% said it would possibly help with faster sales. Again, 33%. It's one of the biggest objections. It's not. What? You know, again, this explains the state of the market with EVs. In order to sell a car, you have to overcome objections. Everybody has objections. I have a friend who used to spend, and this is, oh, Baz, you're so sexist. Well, if anything, it wasn't me that was sexist because I didn't do it. It was my friend. He used to clean the passenger side meticulously. Absolutely meticulously. He'd make sure there was nothing on the passenger side. Why? Because the person who makes the decision in most families sits on the passenger side. Yeah, it's a lady. It's the woman. It used to be. Not anymore. Don't get me wrong. So, overcoming objections. I have another friend who used to mint, when I say friend, he wasn't really a friend. He used to mint his cars, absolutely made them beautiful. But then he'd put a couple of things in it. He'd put a box of tissues on the back parcel shelf, a couple of sweets here and there in the perhaps a bottle of water. And then people would come and look at it, and he'd say, oh, I'm awfully sorry, it's not being cleaned yet. The valeters will go over it before, you know, if you decide to buy it, the valeters will go over it. And obviously that's designed to the people. Wow, they've really looked after this car. You know, mind games. But that guy who put the tissues on the back parcel shelf, do you think he'd have a battery state of health certificate? Yes, he'd have it on the front screen. like any normal, sane person would. He'd have it in his adverts. So again, ask yourself why all these EV sellers, the EV, and when I say EV experts, I don't mean the EV experts that sell EVs. I mean the ones that profess globally to be EV experts and EV sellers. Why don't they do it? Because it's not a help. It will put you off. Baz, why will it put you off? So again, I draw your attention to this. I ran a battery test on my 2022 Tesla Model Year with 46,000 miles, and it shows 81%. Is this good or bad? We paraphrase 2022 Tesla Model Y owner JM, who has concerns that the battery in the Model Y he owns may be suffering from premature degradation. Mostly, I think it says bad, but that's 46,000 miles and it shows 81%. So we go into BCA, electric vehicles, fuel type electric, and then of course we can rule out all the ones that haven't got a battery report, which is the sensible choice. Then, that's about Teslas. Now, of any of them, I like Teslas. So, trust me, I'm using these as an example because of that example and that story. So here we go. So here's all the Teslas. Now, that's by make. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do it by mileage, low to high. So let's see. That's 3,776 miles. So if I click on that, it shows 98% there. It's only done 4,000. Let's go down. So they're all A's. What we're up to now, 16,000. 19,600. We come to our first B at 21,315. So let's just go back. Here we go. Tesla Model 3 Performance. That's an A. 20,686 miles. A. Oh, that's vehicle score 90. So A is 90 to 100, and that's got 90. So it's just one away from being a B. Having said that's a 2021, so it's been around a few years. You know, that's nearly a B. So we'll go to the B one. This one's 2022 with 21,315 miles on. Click on B, 89. So that's showing an 89. And if you go into view report, flash test report here, high voltage battery usage and history, 63 out of 70. So it looks like that. These two add up to 100. Why they do it like that, I don't know. High voltage battery performance, 26 out of 30. That gets to 89. When we get down here, the actual state of health on the car, read from the car manufacturers from the EOBD port, is less. That's 87.99. So the Avalue score is actually higher than the car score. Let's just go back to that one and see if that's the case with this. $90 view report. 64 and 26. 89. So that's a B by its own standards. Would you buy a vehicle on a B? You know those little percentages between an A and a B? I've got a better idea. Instead of having A, B, C, D, why don't you actually put the percentage? That'd be a lot better, wouldn't it? A, B, C, D. the percentage. 99, 98, 97, 96, and so on. You know, call me suspicious. But volt test takes 2 minutes, apparently. There's only 900 EVs. Why can't all those have a test? Who decides which ones are going to have a test? Why haven't the other ones had it? As I say, call me sceptical and call me suspicious, but I'd be wondering what the others that haven't had a test are actually hiding. I wouldn't buy one without a test. And then I'd do my own test when I got it back to the garage. Now here's the volt test. EV battery health reports in 2 minutes. Who is volt test for? Dealerships, auctions, service shops. Before volt test, inaccurate pricing. No data on battery health. You can only guess about EV value and consequent pricing. Risky EV trade-ins. Again, would you take an EV in without performing one of these tests? You'd be mad. It's Russian roulette. Not just that the battery could be knackered. It could also be ready to go into thermal runaway and just destroy your business. After volt test, accurate pricing. Trade EVs based on the actual battery health, ensuring fair transactions, and maximising margins. Offering EVs certified by volt test can attract more buyers, making it easier to sell used EVs, especially those with expired warranties. Higher residual values. By providing transparency and reliability in battery health, your inventory can benefit from higher residual values, enhancing your market position and revenue potential. Volt test reports tell you all about your EVs. So, traffic light system, nice and easy even for people like me to understand. So, tells you when it's created, location, current state of charge, outside temperature when tested, battery temperature when tested. State of health, 100%, actual usable battery capacity compared to new. 423, estimated range kilometres. Estimated range based on state of health and EPA values. Odometer, 91,138, well, there you go. Total distance driven shown by the odometer. This is obviously a concern as well when you're buying a car, when you're buying a used EV. Fast and slow charges. Fast charges have bigger impact on battery health. So that plugs into the EOBD port, which is usually easily to find and access. Download the app, generate the volt test EV battery health report in 2 minutes. Why wouldn't you have a battery report unless you're trying to hide something? Was burnt to death. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.